Yo, welcome to the NS9 Postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Jim Rosati. Jim, the Pirates win today. They are victorious 3-0 against the Cleveland Guardians. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. How about the Pirates? They needed a win. Luis Ortiz just outstanding today. 2-hit shutout for the Pirates.
He's pitched well. Back-to-back shutout performances from Luis Ortiz, as a matter of fact. You know, he had that great beginning while he was in the bullpen. The multi-inning guy had to get forced into the rotation, started out pitching really well, had a bit of a slump there, giving up a lot of home runs. So far, back-to-back performances, shutout, and today, again, looked really, really good. As I kind of jokingly said, Ray Sears would be very proud today of that performance. 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit. Yes, he had 3 walks, but I think it was 9 outs that was made in 3 pitches or less by Luis Ortiz. Had the sinker, the slider. He had everything going really today. So just a really, really strong performance when the Pirates really needed it.
Yeah, and I think this was like when Luis Ortiz is on, it's games like this. He's not striking out a ton of batters. He's not missing a bunch of bats. Just weak contact and limiting base runners, and that's what he was able to do today.
Right. I think 3 hard hits today he allowed all day, 5 strikeouts, and ironically he had just 5 swing and misses on the day also. It's like you're saying, it wasn't like he was out there and just blowing by guys, Kane, everyone right and left, they're whiffing. He was really pitching to contact, making pretty good weak contact. And honestly, the one and only hit that he gave up, questionable. Connor Joe, could he have gotten it? I know it was a tough play to make, but he got his glove on it. It was close. It could have been no hits for Luis Ortiz there. So again, just kind of showing how strong that performance was today. The one hit that he did give up was also kind of questionable if it should have been caught or not.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. So sorry, I'm working on some audio issues on the TikTok. I'm a little distracted.
I can tell. You do your thing. I'll tell you what, while you're doing that as well,
you're good.
Everyone in the comments, get your hashtag RaiseIts. Yes, for some reason, we're giving away sandwiches again. As I jokingly told the gym, I forgot about this whole giveaway. I can't remember last time I've given away free sandwiches on this show. So go ahead and do it. 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Hashtag RaiseIt in the comments. And also, just so you're aware, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today, get on the action. Bet online, the game starts here. So, Jim, this was just like a good all-around baseball game. Had a little bit of everything. You had some good defense. You had some not so good defense. You had really good pitching. You had some not so good pitching. You had some good hitting, some not so good hitting. Some stolen bases also. I think basically the only thing that's lacked was like the home run.
Yeah, I mean, Pirates had 3 hits with runners in scoring position. They kept Cleveland off the bases whenever there was a runner in scoring position. They went over 4. They got into a little bit of trouble there in the 7th inning. I thought the bullpen was going to blow it again. Jalen Beeks comes in, gives up a hit, gives up a walk. But Dennis Santana, can't say enough about that guy. Just every time I feel like he comes in, it's just huge out after huge out. He did a really good job of just kind of just shutting things down. Like things were about to get out of control. Santana came in, just shut them down. And then Chapman comes in for the save. So yeah, lot to talk about today. 3 hits from Nick Gonzalez. Oh no, Cruz with 2 more hits. Like, yeah, it was a good game. Brian Reynolds made a great play in the field. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a well played game. Henry Davis still kind of looks lost at the plate. Like, there's a lot of things to take from today, but you'll take a 3-0 win all day.
Yeah, absolutely. We've basically summed up the entire game in like 5 minutes. So I guess if we want to dig deeper into this,
Very high level.
do you want to start? I mean, I know we talked about Luis Ortiz here a bit. I don't know if we want to go any further into that, but again, I mean, this is what we want to see from Luis Ortiz. You have the entire rest of the season to see him in the rotation. Hopefully, he's going to be able to answer us, heading into next year if he has like that upper hand. Is he a rotation guy? He's shown moments where he certainly absolutely is, and he's shown moments where I'm not sure. So again, performances like today absolutely show you why he has that potential. Especially what this rotation can be next year. For him to be your number 5 starter, maybe 4 starter, to be able to give you these, outings is really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a 3.19 ERA. This is his second straight scoreless outing. 6 scoreless against the Reds, 6 scoreless here against Cleveland. And honestly, he may have been able to go out there for a 7th, but he got a little dinged up there. I think he had like a toe issue there late in the game. Because I mean, he only threw 87 pitches and he was rolling. Like, Cleveland wasn't getting to him. So he may have been able to go out there for another inning. But yeah, you can't ask for more. I guess you could ask for more, but like, this is pretty good production from like a number 4, number 5 starter. 3.19. There's not too many teams that have that out of that guy.
Right. And like, it's not as if it's, that and it's been 50 innings on the year. He's pitched quite a few innings. And I know, again, a lot have come in multi-inning relief appearances, but he has had a good string of starts as well. He's been every bit of a good pitcher so far. It's just, is he a rotation guy? And honestly, I'm leaning. That's where I'm hedging. Is yes, because the rotation could potentially be so good, he might be forced out, again. But he's showing you every bit that so far he's capable of it. So I'm really, really enjoying what I see from Luis Ortiz. And like you said earlier, you nail it. Like, when he shows up and does what he does today, that's when he's at his most dominant.
Yeah, I mentioned it. But his last outing, whenever he did the 6 shutout against the Reds, he's someone who, like, I'm not, like, if we're putting together next year's rotation, I'm not saying Luis Ortiz is in it, but he's certainly in the mix. Like, going into spring training, he's absolutely in the mix for one of the starting spots. I think ideally he's best suited for that role he was in that first half of the year, kind of as, a long reliever, someone who you can put in maybe an extra innings to cover a couple innings, or, someone who can bridge the gap in those middle relief innings, because he was very effective doing that as well. But since moving to the rotation, I mean, you can't ask for much more. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts now where he's given up 1 or less run. And he's only made, I mean, that's like half his starts. Like, half of his starts, he's giving up 1 or less runs, which is very good.
And honestly, I don't know the numbers I'm looking right here, but he has been really, really good. And the times he's been off, is like that home run just kills him. I bet you all those other ones that he gives up more, that's when he gives up the long ball. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, just bad luck. He hasn't pitched that effective, but that's like what we're talking about. And as a number 5 starter, really what you're looking for is innings. Someone who can get you innings and give you a chance to win. And like you showed here, that's exactly what he do. He's a shoo-in almost for 6 innings pitched, like they're saying in the comments here as well. And he has the body for it. He has the frame. You're not worried about Luis Ortiz. So he can give you the innings, and in half the starts, he can give you 1 or less, or 2 or less, 3 or less earned runs. That's all you can really ask for from number 5 starter. So it's one of the things, and it's odd that we're talking about it because the Pirates have so many things going wrong for them, right? But the one thing they actually have in their favor is this rotation, and especially for next year. So because the rotation is so good, we're having this debate. I'm sure there's probably 28 teams out there that would right now be saying Luis Ortiz or number 4 starter next year. You know, for some, like the Pirates have this wealth of starting pitching, especially for 2025, because like you also have Luis Ortiz. You also have Oviedo coming back. Bubba Chandler's waiting in the wing. Like there's a lot of pitching in it. That's not even talking about a free agent potentially. So again, like there's that possibility he could be that long man, that multi-inning, bullpen pitcher, and that's just icing. You have a guy who can be a starting pitcher for many teams that's doing that for you. And you saw how valuable that was in the beginning of the year. So again, that could be a big piece for him.
Yeah, or he's a trade piece too. I mean, that
Right.
you can look at it that way. If they have an abundance of starting pitching, you can trade a starting pitcher with 4+ years of control. Teams are gonna pay for that. So if you're looking for maybe an offensive piece, Ortiz is maybe what you use to get that, because he is going to be someone that other teams would find attractive. But yeah, you make a good point though. You mentioned like the home run ball, just to kind of give you an idea. He made 6 starts in August. 6 starts in August. He only gave up 23 hits. That includes today. 23 hits and 6 starts. That's like 3.78 hits per start. Like it's pretty good. 8 of those hits were home runs.
Yeah.
So like it's the home run ball is what he kind of lives or dies on. If he's not giving up those homers, he's pitching really well. If he's giving up homers, it goes south. But outside that, like he does not give up many just base hits.
Right.
23 hits, 8 homers. It means he's only given up 5 non-home run hits in 6 starts.
Mm-hmm. And again, they were just weird. And some of them obviously well deserved, but like the 1-2 like by Josh Bell, we've talked and seen like that home run give to Josh Bell, this hasn't been a home run ever in like the Statcast era. That was just kudos to Josh Bell. I mean, someone's just like, oh my God, how did I get a hold of that? But yeah, it's just like he just had this run, and it seemed like it came in like 4 or 5 straight starts where he gives up the home run early. But even in those games, like the home runs, he settled down and he pitched well the rest of the time. So it wasn't like he imploded and then just everything came unwinding and this got out of hand and he just kept going and kept going. Like he gave the home runs and the damage was done, but he still settled down and he pitched well and effective the entire time, which of course also helped out the bullpen. Not that they're going to help him out, I'm sure, in any of the starts. But right, just like oddly enough, the long ball has been an issue for him, and that's when he's at his worst. So, again, that's why I like this next month, seeing more sample size, seeing him pitch, it's going to mean a lot for him heading into the next year. But yeah. So like you mentioned, he pitched very effective. Probably cut short because the toe. I was actually kind of shocked to let him finish it out, but he did. Got the last out. Kudos to him. Thank God for the Pirates. Everything went well. And then Jalen Beeks comes in, and Jalen Beeks gives up an immediate hit, double to I think Jose Ramirez. Then he gets an out, then a walk. 2 guys. 1 out. Oh boy, Jim, here's the bullpen, right?
Yeah. I was 1-0 after 6. I was like, there's no way this bullpen is getting 9 outs. I have 0 faith in this bullpen getting 9 outs.
Right.
And then Beeks starts off that 7th inning. Yeah. Putting those 2 runners on. And I'm just like, yeah. But yeah, Santana comes in. Great job cleaning it up. Just outstanding work.
Yeah. Again, every show I feel like I got to give him his credit because he really, really deserves it. 26.2 innings since July 6th, 4 earned runs, 33 strikeouts, 3 walks. The other thing as well, he's been getting more and more opportunities just like tonight. This isn't just mop up duty. This isn't just that the game's out of reach, go pitch. That was a big moment. 2 guys on, you're up 1-0 with just 1 out. He came in, he shut it down. And then he said, I'm going to come back out and have another inning.
Yeah. Now I will say this, like when we say shut it down, we do have to give a ton of credit to Brian Reynolds, because he came in and he gave up a 361-foot fly ball that would have been a homer in 11 ballparks that Brian Reynolds caught jumping at the wall, robbing Lane Thomas of extra bases. So there was that. But Reynolds, we kind of give him. Brian Reynolds is a very good ball player, but he's not the best defender in left field. And if you look at advanced defensive metrics, you'll see that he's either the worst or near the bottom in defensive runs saved, outs above average, all that stuff. He's not good out there. But that play was outstanding. You make that play, you get you double up. I think it was Naylor who was basically rounding third at the time. I don't know what Naylor was doing there,
and he thought it was out of reach.
I don't
apparently,
think I don't think he realized that he was going to catch it because he's staring right at him. But yeah, outstanding play by Brian Reynolds. If that doesn't happen, then we're talking about a whole different ball game because at that point it was 1-0. If that ball hits the fence and bounces down to the ground, it's 1-1 at least, maybe 2-1. So yeah, kudos to Brian Reynolds. He didn't have the best day at the plate today. 2 walks, but no hits. But he saved some runs in the field.
Yeah. No, good for bringing that up because it is true. And I'll be honest, I wasn't like after seeing the catch too. Like the catch itself wasn't totally impressive. He didn't have to jump that high per se for it. It just also like to me looked like that ball was out of his reach from the jump. So it was just shocking that that ball didn't go as far and was catchable, and Reynolds did catch it. And then of course, the base running error, by Naylor, who was already rounded third. Like he was toast. He was toast. He didn't come back and touch third. He started running to second.
Yeah,
it was, like he was going to be out regardless. Even if he could come back, he was going to be out. But yeah, I mean the way he caught it, throws it to second, gets the double play, inning ending, huge moment there, keeps them to just 1-0. And like you mentioned, like that was really the only time that Cleveland was threatening to score because there was really no other time when Luis Ortiz was pitching. And then afterwards, the next inning, Santana shuts it down again. And then Aroldis Chapman comes for the save, and he shut it down too. Aroldis Chapman looked really good again. This is the first time that there was a save opportunity since Bednar has been relieved of those duties. They've mentioned that's going to be a closer by committee, and Chapman gets the first opportunity and shows why he was paid $10.5 million.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very non-eventful 9th inning, which is what you want to see in a 3-0 game. So it was well needed. I don't think we needed to endure another 9th inning disaster. So yeah, it was nice to just have a nice boring 9th inning. There was one at bat where I think he threw 9 or 10 pitches, but outside that, it was boring 1, 2, 3 9th inning, which you love to see in a 3-0 game.
Right. Harley says she's making sure she comments raise it from a wedding. So there you go. There's commitment from a wedding.
Didn't even do it right though, Harley. Gotta no space.
She did above. Oh yeah, you're right, Harley. There's a space there.
Yeah, take that space away.
Oh no. So yeah, today pitching, again, outside of Beeks, was just small. Three guys up to bat versus him. Pitching was really, really good today. The game started out, and I tweeted, and it's like not to make a big deal of it, but IKF leading off again. Kutch is coming back from the IL, and we've been talking time and time again how good Kutch has been in the leadoff role. There's a lefty up as well. He's been hitting lefties, pretty well as well. IKF not so much. So, I'm kind of like wondering, why, what is this? And actually put out there, DK tweeted at me and said that talking to Kutch last night, that's something they're trying out. So I guess just as an FYI going forward, you're probably not going to see Kutch in the leadoff spot. Probably going to be IKF and Kutch batting fourth, I guess, to give him more opportunities for RBI with his, the power. So I guess I can make sense of that. But what I'll say today is you saw, this lineup was basically Nick Gonzalez, Andrew McCutchen, and O'Neal Cruz performing. And that was really about it. I know Kutch opened it. He got the early run. And then Rowdy came over the pitch inning later to get that. But like, that was it. Outside of that, there was just really no offense coming from anywhere else in this lineup.
Yeah, I think you got to give credit, Cruz, first off, getting Heron out of the game, because if Cruz doesn't, and I guess you're not giving Cruz credit, but Cruz line drive
Yeah, I don't think
comebacker to the pitcher, right? And it's a lefty pitcher. So if that guy's probably not coming out of the game, like if he's staying in the game, Connor Joe's batting in that situation, right? So
that's a good
Cruz
call.
injuring the pitcher forced Cleveland to bring in a righty, which then meant Rowdy pinch hit instead of Connor Joe against a righty. And Rowdy came through with a 2-run pinch hit single there in the 8th to add some insurance runs. So, yeah, not like, hopefully he's okay. Didn't look like it hit him anywhere too bad, but yeah, the O'Neal Cruz did hit him with a comebacker there. I think he even broke Statcast a little bit on that, because I think Statcast said it was 83.2 miles an hour, and I just don't believe that. Like, that
Yeah,
ball
that was kind of
laced.
weird
I think
too.
I think Statcast got confused because, like, the ball went back in the same direction as it came in, and I wonder if it just got confused.
Maybe. I'm glad you brought that up, because right, like when I saw it live, I was like, oh man, I even tweeted like it's probably not fun getting hit by O'Neal Cruz. And then they said, like, I think it was it 86 or 83? Regardless, it wasn't all
Statcast
that.
said 80. Yeah, Statcast said 83, and yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
And what I'm gonna say too with that is it's funny how, when O'Neal Cruz hits 183, we're like, oh man, it was just 80. That's like 40 miles per hour less than it hit last night. And then for like most people, it's like their normal exit velocity, So like that's how like a pitcher normally gets hit. But O'Neal Cruz up there is like, oh man, it wasn't even that bad. It was only 83 miles an hour. But I'm with you too. Like that seemed much harder than what it was watching it live. So I'm not sure. But either way, it's no fun getting hit in the arm by a baseball. So that's a good point too. That forces him to come out. Rowdy Tellez comes in. Connor Joe, just to kind of lightly talk on him too. I know we've given him a lot of props, especially early on, and I think he had to do a lot early on because Rowdy was playing so bad, and he was playing every single day, righties, lefties, right field, first base, what have you. And he's been struggling lately, and also against lefties. I think coming into this game in the month of August, he had like a -10 WRC plus against lefties, and that's his bread and butter. Like actually Rowdy, although it's like 7 or 8 plate appearances, right? But like Rowdy's hitting lefties better than Connor Joe in the month of August. So yeah, like he's been really struggling at his, best situation. And today was no different. He struggled at the plate as well. They bring in the righty, Rowdy comes in, makes it 3-0, and now you're feeling much more comfortable, with his bullpen being a 3-run lead as well.
Yeah, I mean, Joe deserved a lot of credit for April and May. He was really like the only other player outside Reynolds and Cruz on occasion that was doing anything those 2 months. So yeah, he kind of carried the offense for a bit there. But it was weird. Like as soon as Rowdy started hitting, Joe just became
Rowdy.
really bad. Like became really bad. Sub 600 OPSs in June and July. August was a little bit better, but he also played a whole lot less. Like he played less in August than any other month. So he hit a couple bombs kind of late in games, but and that juiced his numbers up a bit. But yeah, he has not been good lately. And today, yeah, again, I think what was he 0 for 3 today? Yeah, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts against a lefty. So you gotta, like, that's what you're here for. He's here to hit lefties. That's the reason why you acquired him, and he hasn't even been able to do that lately. Someone in the option here, like non-tender Connor Joe, like I think at this point it's going to be really hard to retain Connor Joe on this roster next year. Like I don't see where he fits in.
Yeah,
I don't. Like you can't keep this many platoon players around who can't hit consistently. Like there's plenty of people out there who are right-handed bats who can crush lefty pitching, and they can do it. They've shown over the course of their career they can do it, and that they maybe can't hit righties, but they can hit lefties. So if you're going to go with something like that in your roster, you need to go with something like a little more consistent in that aspect. And Connor Joe, he hasn't been able to do it.
That's fair. But yeah, again, I don't know if I'm there yet. That's an offseason talk for sure. I absolutely am on board with it's. That's definitely a conversation to be had. You need to improve the roster. So is that an improvement that needs to be made? Um, Overall, he's been fine as like a platoon depth guy. It's just he's been put in a situation where he's had to be a little bit more than that. And yeah, like I jokingly said, like you said, it's funny. Like when Rowdy picked up, it's when he fell off. It's like Rowdy was the Monstar in Space Jams. Like he's zapped all of Connor Joe's powers, and that's when it happened. It's just so ironic and weird, but at least they're like it happened. Like they're not both bad at the same time. But anyways, yeah, Brian De La Cruz over 4 today. Trillo actually didn't play too bad. He got a walk and a hit also, and a stolen base. But yeah, Henry Davis over 4. Bases were loaded, 2 outs. I mean, I know he hit it decently hard. I think it was 95 miles an hour, to center field. He at least drove the baseball. It's not like he struck out or, hit that grounder to third base. I mean, he did at least make solid contact to center field, but 0 for 4, limited plate appearances, only 1 hit since being called back up. I don't know if I'm seeing anything yet so far translating for Henry Davis, but season's over. He's here. He needs to just finish out the year. He needs to see major league pitching. There's no point of sending him back down at this time. And there's no point of being afraid to see him struggle. He's got to see major league pitching.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1 for 10 now since being called up after going 0 for 4 today. 1 for 10, 3 strikeouts, no walks. He just doesn't look good up there, and it's just non-competitive at bats is the problem. And I don't know if I've seen somebody who, like, the guy's a power hitter. He's a Deadpool power hitter. That's what he is, right? And somehow that's his profile, and he just can't hit a fastball. And it's not even like good fastballs. Like he was late on 94, 95 today, like, which is just
He was late
average.
on 92 the other day.
That's just normal, right? We're not even talking about 99, 100, which a lot of people can throw nowadays. Yeah, I agree. Like he needs to get, at least now that Bart is injured, like he needs to get a lot of playing time up here. He needs to see major league pitching. He needs to figure out ways to adjust to it because obviously, like, he can hit AAA pitching. He's proven that. I don't know how much you can you can keep him just struggling though. Like if this is what he's going to do, where he's just non-competitive at bat after non-competitive at bat after non-competitive at bat, that doesn't do him any good either, I don't think, because he's not actually learning anything from it. So like I think you give him some run time here. Like obviously you give him some run time, but like if Bart comes back in a couple weeks, I don't know what Bart's timetable is, but if Bart comes back in a couple weeks and Henry Davis is still doing this, then you got to send Davis back down. Like,
yeah, but sooner or later that season's also gone. That there is no sending back down to send back down to.
Yeah, so it means you're done. Like you can't allow him to struggle this much. I understand that there is value in getting knocked down and dragging yourself back up again. But like he's not getting back up. Like he's just getting punched into oblivion, into just laying on the ground unconscious at this point is what he looks like at the plate. Like that's what he's doing. He made a good play behind the plate today. Got Stephen Kwan caught stealing. So like he looks better back there, I think. But just at the plate, man, like you're a first overall pick. It's the fastball. I don't understand how he can't hit just like an average fastball.
Which has regressed severely since last year.
He needs to figure that out, because if he can't figure that out, he's not going to be a major leaguer.
Mm-hmm.
That is the pitch that you will see more than any other pitch, and it's the pitch that you need to do damage against. And he can't do it. He can't catch up to it. He was late fouling off 92, late fouling off 95. Like he's got to do more than that. Jeremy here, it's only been 10 at bats. It hasn't really been 10. It's been 300 or so at bats so far. Like, I mean, this isn't a new thing. Like, this is just like what we've seen from Henry Davis since he's debuted in the majors. He hasn't been able to catch up to a fastball, particularly this year. So yeah, give him more time. Obviously, like it's not give up on Henry Davis time, but he needs to figure it out. Like you got to figure it out at some point.
Right. Yes, sir.
He's about to turn 25. He turns 25 in 3 weeks. Like, he's not some 21-year-old guy fresh out of A-ball who just stormed through the minors. Like, this was an advanced college bat, the best college bat in the country going into his draft. You picked him 1-1. He flew through the minors, and he can't hit a major league fastball.
He was safe too. Like, the thing is, he's a college bat. He was safe. The hit tool, like, you knew. And for the podcast people, my air quotes are up. You knew he was going to hit. The question was, can he catch? Where is he going to play? And I want to say that the irony in this is he actually is looking competent catching. He doesn't look competent at all hitting. Weird. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And again, like, I do want to offer also the side where it hasn't even been 400 plate appearances like in his major league career. Like it's still, he's developing, right? It's not looking good. That's for sure. This doesn't excuse it, but I'm not ready to label bust. I'm not ready to write him off yet. That's why this next month matters too, because the time's running out. This isn't year 2 of the rebuild where you can afford, we'll give you another year or 2 to try to figure things out. This is next year's go time. It's got to be go time. And if you're not showing that you're in the plans yet, I don't know what we can really do, because keeping you in the minors isn't helping you. And we don't have the time, or we can't afford the opportunity to have you figured out in the majors, because it's go time for us. So it might be trade season. You might be, sending that as lowest value. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him. ND is coming back. The way Joey Bart's performing, like, you have a capable catcher in Joey Bart, and another guy that you're not sure of, but he can definitely catch, and he's definitely a prospect also. So I don't know what they're going to do. So again, like, Luis Ortiz is kind of vital for him for next year, and for Henry Davis, I feel like this is a pretty vital month. And I'm not saying like he's going to be done. He's out of the plans. I'm just saying, like, if he's not showing anything, that's more of a cloudy future for him.
Yeah. And this could be a good point. And I know he was working on his swing at drive line, but like, he did focus on his defense a lot. So like, you wonder if that affected his swing. I don't know. I said, not making excuses, but yeah, he needs to, I mean, he's got to figure it out. Like you mentioned, it's less than 400 plate appearances for his career. After today, he's at 367 career plate appearances. That's he hasn't even played a full season in Major League Baseball. He's played like a half
Nearly
of a
a half.
season in Major League Baseball. But like you mentioned, this team, they should have been in win now mode this year, right? And a lot of stuff happened, and we're clearly not there. But they sure as hell need to be in win now mode next year. And when you're in win now mode, you can't afford to just give hundreds of plate appearances to a guy trying to figure it out.
Right.
So like, if you're going to figure it out, now would be a really good time. Now would be a great time to figure it out.
Can we end this on a guy who has seemed to figure it out?
Sure.
Cruz, 2 more hits today. 37 now in the month of August. 25 games played in the month of August. So 37 hits in 25 games in August. 118 weighted runs created plus on the year. And as I mentioned, coming into today, he's like a top 20 hitter in baseball. Top 20 as far as WAR in baseball since July 1st.
Say 37 hits.
37.
Yeah. Francisco Lindor, 38 hits in August. Marcelo Zuna, 37 hits in August. So Oneil Cruz is up there. Those are the top 2. So, yeah. So I mean, hell of an August for Oneil Cruz. And looking, just sorting by batting average, highest batting average in the National League in the month of August, Oneil Cruz.
What was it like? Was it 378?
That was 385 going into today. So
Okay.
that only went up.
Yeah. He's spending almost 400 then.
Yeah.
He's been playing excellent. So again, you talk about someone who's like finishing strong. The guy's on a 4-WAR pace season. And that's mixed with this first half, which everyone was still like, oh my God, I don't know, Cruz, he's going to be a bust. He strikes out too much. He doesn't make consistent contact. He can't hit this, can't hit that. And here we are today. And he has the 806 OPS and Brian Reynolds has the 809 OPS. I mean, they're battling back and forth right now for like the best hitter. And we know how good Brian Reynolds has been. Oh no, Cruz is right there now with him. So like, just what an amazing turnaround. I guess I don't want to say amazing, but what a really, really good turnaround. Make you feel really, really comfortable and confident heading into 2025, like what this guy can be. So yeah,
you got to feel really good. You got to feel really good about Oneil Cruz and his future. Like you probably, if there was one thing you want to see more of, it's probably home runs. And I think that's going to come with time. Like he hits the ball extremely hard. So it's just a matter of putting a little bit more lift on it consistently. But yeah, he's been outstanding. Just overall at the plate, hitting for average, hitting. He's got tons of doubles on the base paths, bunch of stolen bases in August. He's been, like I said, he's been one of the best players in the league for the month of August. In the National League, he is third in WAR.
There you go. Outstanding. All right.
Yeah.
Is it time now?
Let's give away some sandwiches. Yeah, let's do it.
If you haven't, you know what to do right now. Hashtag raise it in the comments for your chance to win 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. We'll give you guys your last little 10, 15 seconds here. So if you haven't also already done so, go ahead and like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us in other ways, come over, subscribe to the YouTube channel. When there's a victory, you can watch it here for your chance to win 2 sandwiches. As always, we appreciate you guys. So we have 49 entries now. Could we get 50? I know we have more than 50 in this chat.
49. That's low.
This is really
college football Saturday, maybe.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Twitter is pretty dead today.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to just stick with 49.
Which shout out Louisville Cardinals, 62-0 victory today.
Cool. I guess we are sticking with 49. So I'm going to draw. So here we go. Let's see who wins the 2 Primanti Brothers sandwiches. There's Doug's name. What are you doing, Doug? His name's always there. Barack.
Hey.
I think this is
congratulations,
a 2-time winner.
Brock. Yeah, I think Brock won once before, and Brock's in here pretty much every day. So yeah, congrats, Brock. Good stuff.
That's it. So you know what to do. Reach out to us via email or DM by Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what have you. Get that address so we can get those out to you again. Congrats, Brock. Big W for you, and big W for the Pirates today. So hey, they're no longer double digits under 500. It's only just 9 games under 500 now.
Oh, wow.
Good vibes, Jim. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's see if they can take this series.
Zach's asking for some tie tomorrow, which it'll be me and Tyler tomorrow, by the way. So
there you go.
You'll get your wish.
There it is. All right, let's go. Appreciate you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.